And happy Friday afternoon to you. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook Forecaster. This outlook period, looking at the big picture here, looking at the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean are both very active now with tropical cyclone formation. We have this tropical depression here that's going to be forming and then spin up to a tropical storm, maybe a 1 or 2 category hurricane. We have Danielle, which is already a Category 1 hurricane. It may even grow a little bit stronger and then take a track sort of north into the colder waters of the North Atlantic. So yet again, another easterly wave coming in off the West African coast that we'll need to watch. All of these systems right now, no threats to land. There is some model guidance that gives us a slight possibility of something that might edge toward the eastern seaboard, but it's pretty limited, and right now it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but we'll have to watch late in this period of this outlook period, mainly in the early to mid part of next week. Currently with this strong trough of lower pressure and surface low that's up around the Hudson Bay area yet again, we have a big ridge of higher pressure that's across the western United States, a big heat dome producing stifling hot conditions once again. They may be setting new records. And that ridge of higher pressure is going to replace this area of low pressure up in the northern areas there in Canada. But the interesting thing is we do have this fairly weak area of higher pressure that's rolling the roost after some autumnal-like air has cooled things off this morning. We even had low temperatures as low as 34 degrees at places like Saranac Lake and 35 degrees in the Northeast Kingdom. Looking at the incrementals, they have the European on the left-hand side and, of course, the GFS ensemble on the right-hand side. High pressure and control, easy to see that, and we got no precipitation to worry about. Running the computer model until we do, it looks like we have this sort of stringy frontal system, fairly narrow band, not a big deal here. It really doesn't make it Saturday night. It makes it into the region early Sunday morning and kind of falls apart. But that frontal system will spark more showers and thunderstorms that will reform and be better identified. This is valid about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's mostly after that point, and a lot of that will be across central and southern parts of Vermont, where there could be some isolated thunderstorms in the mix, mostly just scattered rain shower activity. However, this is a lot of moisture that's brewing out here. What's going to end up happening is this frontal boundary is going to sag a little bit further south, and then it's going to hook up with a lot of this moisture, which will then pour into the region. So hence, we're looking at a pretty wet scenario setting up for basically later overnight Sunday night, mostly into the day on Monday. And we're locked in by this area of higher pressure. And this is not going to go anywhere very fast, this kind of sort of inverted trough here. And it looks like we could see some decent amounts of rainfall with this, greater than 1 inch amounts, perhaps 1 to 2 inches. And eventually by along about Tuesday night, this is going to start to sag south and pull away, thanks to this area of higher pressure, which will then control the roost. It looks like during the last part of next week. Looking at the GFS ensemble with the Montpelier grid, what we're seeing here is the latest deterministic model. This blue line here is indicating that wet scenario. It's starting to tag on, much like the European model, the Canadian GEM model as well. So we're looking at a very wet period here, and this is going to be valid once we get into basically Monday, Labor Day, and probably into Tuesday before things begin to dry out and calm down. Looking at the total QPF here, the GFS ensemble is giving us about maybe 7/8 of an inch, but you can see the deterministic model, pretty good jump. One of the more outlier spurs here, greater that looks like about 1.7 inches potentially, and that's up where the European has been. Now during the day tomorrow, we might find dew point temperatures make a run above 60 degrees. This would be basically for Sunday, I should say. And that's what may trigger a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity. Looking at PWatts again really shows you where the heavy moisture is. And of course, it's right in this particular area. And then putting CAPE over that, you will see CAPES here on once we get into basically Sunday, strongest CAPES. And then laying shear over that. Shear is really going to be fairly limited. We're only talking about 15 knots. So any thunderstorm activity is going to be not organized and relatively pulse and benign. And that looks to be fairly isolated to widely scattered, looks like on Sunday afternoon, mostly across central and southern parts of Vermont. Weather Prediction Center, total QPF, total rainfall over the next 7 days. You can see that it's much higher across southern parts of New England, much less across northern parts of New England, where we're looking at about 1/4 inch or less. That's a 1/2 inch, and then 1 inch amounts right near the Massachusetts-Vermont border. Not really seeing a lot of temperature extremes. We do have anomalous cool temperatures in the area. That's going to warm up slightly. Next 5 days of high temperatures. Meteorological output statistics, or MOS, pretty neutral, but you can see slightly warmer conditions are going to kind of eke on in. And 3 days later, you can see where we're headed. Running about 6 degrees above normal again. Yep, September is the most active period for hurricanes for the Atlantic Basin, typically coming off coast of Africa, north and east of the Lesser Antilles here, and then kind of making that recurvature out to sea once in a while, coming up the eastern seaboard. Category 1, Hurricane Danielle, and we have the possibility about a 50% chance of a spin up here. This is that system that could probably mostly go out to sea. Some of the plumes are indicating maybe 1 or 2, maybe heading off the coast of North Carolina. That's the worst case scenario. Right now, probably not. And again, here is our big driver over the course of the next 5 days, and that next easterly wave coming off of West Africa, west of the Azores, which I think is going to also take a pretty much of a right turn, and then out to sea it goes. One of the more valuable tools we have here. This is our system to watch. This is Danielle. And as I talked about some of these outlier plumes, you can see 1 or 2 coming right up the eastern seaboard there. And when would that take place? Long ways out. We're talking Sunday, the 11th of September, and that's about 260 hours out. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.